Lawyers, what's the most dramatic will reading you've ever seen? I'm not a lawyer, but I was a witness to a will reading that felt like a courtroom drama finale. It was for my great-aunt Elspeth. I was a distant cousin, more of an observer than a real part of the inner circle. The inner circle consisted of her two children, Marcus and Caroline. For years, they had curated the perfect image of devoted children. They posted glowing photos with their darling mother on social media. They managed her estate, and they made sure everyone in our small town knew how well they were caring for her in her final years. The day of the will reading was a performance. Caroline wore black lace and dabbed at her dry eyes with a silk handkerchief. Marcus stood tall, the stoic son, accepting condolences with a grave nod. They were playing their parts perfectly. My personal stake was 0, which gave me the best seat in the house. I was there because Elspeth had always sent me a small, thoughtful gift for my birthday, a kindness no one else in that branch of the family ever bothered with. The lawyer, a man named Mr. Davies, was the epitome of professionalism. He sat at the head of a long mahogany table in his stuffy office. He cleared his throat and began. The initial bequests were simple, a few heirlooms to old friends, a donation to the local library. Marcus and Caroline smiled condescendingly, waiting for the main event, the house, the stocks, the fortune. And now, Mr. Davies said, pausing to adjust his glasses, we come to the residuary estate. All the remainder of my property, both real and personal, I give, devise, and bequeath as follows. He took a slow breath. Marcus leaned forward slightly. To my granddaughter, Lily. The room went completely silent, not just quiet, but a vacuum of sound. Marcus and Caroline exchanged a confused look. I'm sorry, Marcus interrupted, his voice smooth but tight. There must be a mistake. Our mother had no grandchildren. Mr. Davies looked up from the paper, his expression unreadable. On the contrary, she had one, Lily Marie Thompson, daughter of her estranged son, Daniel, who passed away 15 years ago. This was the mini twist, a ghost from the family's past. Daniel was the black sheep, the son no one ever spoke of. He had been cast out for marrying beneath him. We all thought his line had ended with him. Lily, Caroline whispered, the name sounding like poison on her tongue. Mr. Davies continued, his voice cutting through the tension. He read a letter from Elspeth that was attached to the will. It explained everything. It turned out, Elspeth had secretly been in contact with her granddaughter Lily for her entire life. She had paid for her education, supported her from afar, and met with her in secret. The letter detailed how Marcus and Caroline had actively worked to keep her isolated, controlling her finances and her contact with the outside world, all while pretending to be doting children. They hadn't been caring for her, they'd been guarding their inheritance. The stake for them was everything, and they had just lost. The climax was spectacular. Caroline let out a strangled gasp. She can't do that. We were the ones here. We took care of her. Marcus stood up so fast his chair screeched against the floor. This is a farce. That girl is a nobody. My mother was clearly not of sound mind. We will contest this. Mr. Davies calmly held up a hand. Your mother anticipated you would. She included a psychiatric evaluation from 3 separate doctors, all dated within the last 6 months, confirming her complete lucidity. She also included notarized copies of emails and letters in which you both refused her requests to see a lawyer alone. He slid a thick folder across the table. It landed with a heavy, final thud. Marcus's face went from red to a terrifying, blotchy white. He looked at the folder, then at Mr. Davies, then at me, as if I had something to do with it. The performance was over. The masks were off. This was pure, unfiltered rage and greed. Caroline started sobbing, but these were not the delicate tears from the funeral. This was a loud, ugly tantrum. The fallout was immediate and brutal. As Marcus and Caroline descended into a screaming match with each other and the lawyer, the door to the office opened. A young woman with kind eyes and a nervous expression stepped in. It was Lily. She hadn't been invited, but she had come anyway. Mr. Davies simply nodded to her, gathered his papers, and walked out, leaving the shrieking siblings in his wake. Lily just stood there, watching the two people who had tried to erase her have a complete public meltdown. Then, she quietly accepted the keys Mr. Davies' assistant held out to her.